using my coffee cup to keep my hand warm. It's a little chilly.
It is a little chilly.
I like it.
This is Wayne and Cindy Rodgers with the 416 podcast. This is Coffee Chat, and we wanted to update everyone on where we've been and what's been going on, but let's just take a moment because we're drinking some coffee. I don't even know what we're drinking. I can't even remember.
Well, we're here in Indiana, and Drew and Maggie Reese are the preacher and preacher's wife where we're at, and they got us this coffee from Country Roads Coffee, and it's the Dugout. It's a medium dark roast, and it's very smooth.
Yeah, it's
I like
very
it
good.
a lot.
Yeah, we've enjoyed it. We opened it up, I think this morning was the first we got.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. And so we're sitting outside, a little bit of light left, not much, but
yeah, sun's going down. It's beautiful. This Indiana fall has really been pretty.
When we last chatted, we were in Brockport, New York.
Yeah.
And we were leaving the next morning to go to Bennington, Vermont. And so we made that part of the trip.
I thought we still had the weekend with New York, and then we went to Bennington.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. I'll stand corrected then.
But anyway, we went to Vermont after
we went
New
to
York.
Bennington, Vermont. We were with Jason and his wife Sarah, Jason Floyd, and he's the preacher there. And they were doing a great job, great work. That's a very difficult area, and I remember and I would encourage you to go and check out the interview series that we're doing on our podcast, because we interviewed Jason a while back, and that's at this point that's already aired at this point, but
it tells you a little more about each area.
Yeah, it's
really good.
It's a little more in depth about the work itself, and so we'll kind of reserve those podcasts for a little bit more particular to the work, but we just wanted you to know, that's where we went next after New York. And so we spent some time, obviously, in the New England area.
Oh, yeah.
And it was beautiful.
We drove down to Connecticut one day.
Oh, yeah.
It's so pretty. It's just so pretty.
It's
we
beautiful.
Missed fall there, but that's okay. We got it here in Indiana.
We got it full bloom here. It was perfect. We hit it just right in Indiana. But we've actually visited several places in between. And so we wanted to take a moment, kind of update you on that. Do want to remind you that, and we'll put the playlist for all that interview series in the description and show notes and stuff like that. So hopefully you can go back and check those out if you haven't done so already. But several of the interviews that we've still got several that are about to upload, and so we want you to stay with us.
We'll talk about those as we list out where we've been.
Yeah.
But after we left Vermont, we went back to Memphis.
Yeah.
We always like to go back to Memphis and spend time there.
Yeah.
Forest Hill's always great to welcome us back, and
they kind of keep
the
us
school
charged
there.
up.
Everybody is just so encouraging for us, and so it recharges us each time we go.
But we went back at least to work for that moment.
Yeah,
at least for me,
you
I had to work. But so we went there and we did a seminar for the students alongside with Scattered Abroad Network. We did a seminar alongside of GBN and World Video Bible School to introduce our students to that and spend some time with them, both podcasting and doing some video work with GBN and World Video. And so that gave them some hands-on training with that. And so I think that was really good. And
you did some recording?
Michael and I did some recording for What Would You Do If, and so we got some of that next season's finished up, and so that was exciting to kind of knock that out. We got to, after we left Memphis, we went back to East Tennessee for just a minute, and we were able to go down to South Georgia, be with some family. There was a baby shower involved, and so there was
we've got another grandbaby coming in January.
Yep, another grandbaby's coming, and so we're looking forward to that with Matthew and Olivia. And we got to spend time with a lot of family at that point, and so that was
saw a lot of the Georgia folks.
Yeah,
my family and Wayne's mom and brother live in Georgia, and so we got to see them and just celebrate Matthew and Olivia.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
That was a good time. And so we're
we
excited
got to spend
about
time
that.
with Piper and Chris
always.
and Caitlin. We always have to swing through and let Piper spend the night with us.
That's right.
After that, we went to Piedmont Rd.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And that was really neat. I had never been to that building and saw all their stuff. And so that video's coming out soon, right?
Yeah. And that's and that's a little extra video because we got to tour the
do a little tease. They need to watch the video because that is amazing.
Yeah.
Their whole education wing is downstairs and it's painted amazingly, and the way that they teach their kids is just so unique and
very out of the box.
They immerse them.
Yeah.
Is the word that I kept thinking about. It's just those kids are immersed and they're going to leave there strong.
Yeah.
And be able to be really good adults.
Yeah. Every lesson is just taught on a different, not just a different level, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty exciting.
It was great to see Jake.
That's all we're going to talk about that part of the video, but because we want you to go check that out.
So that's going to be in the interview series with Jake Sutton.
Yeah.
And that'll be a special episode. So we spent time with him, and then we went and we were in Helen just so that we were nearby. We had a little time to spend, and Helen was neat.
Yeah.
And then we went down to, what was the name of the Watauga?
Yeah, Camp Watauga.
Camp Watauga.
Yeah. The Eastside congregation in Cleveland, Tennessee, had us there for their fall family retreat. And so that was very fun to be with them and to kind of be outdoors with them and to study with them. That was just a neat study that Larry King had put together there, and we were there with Kyle Gilpin and got to interview him as well. And so that'll come out. That's one that's should release in the next couple of days. So probably about 4 or 5 days. So
we got to spend time with them that weekend. Wayne spoke, did several devos and lessons, and they worship there on Sunday morning, whoever's there. And so we got to worship with them and spend good time with Kyle and Kelly. We've known them since school, since Memphis. And so that was good. It's always good to catch up with friends.
Yeah.
And spend time.
And see their kids growing too.
Yeah.
So that was,
wow. I know.
That was just very cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where we were in between, but
well, after that we may have got our days mixed up, but we went back to Memphis to pack. That's what it was, yeah. Because we had been in Georgia and because it had been warm. I know everyone kind of had that warm spell there. The hurricanes had come and all that stuff had happened. And so while we were down, it was after the hurricane when we were in Savannah area, Richmond Hill, and you interviewed Riley.
That's right.
Nelson.
Right. Yeah.
While we were there,
so we got
for
to
the
visit
baby
with
shower.
them too.
Yeah.
And
so we got to visit them and Richmond Hill Church, and that the Hurricane Helene was the one that did all the damage in Georgia, and it was really sobering to see all the trees and the pecan orchards and just all of it.
Yeah, and we know that it certainly devastated parts of East Tennessee and North Carolina as well, and some of South Carolina, in fact. But we were driving all through South Georgia, and it blew us away just to see the devastation that had taken place. All the farmlands, all the pecan orchards and stuff like that. It was just, anyway, so that was just heartbreaking to see that. But we had to come back to Memphis and to change out our clothes so that we could get some winter clothes and come to Indiana. And that's where we are now.
Yep.
So
now
we came
we're in
up
Indiana.
to Columbia City, Indiana, and the Lincolnway congregation. And that's where Drew and Maggie Reese are laboring. And very special, I know to them, that's where Drew actually grew up, in that congregation. And so certainly kind of neat, I'm sure, to get to come back and preach in his home congregation in that way. And so...
and his family's right down the road. And,
a lot of his family's in this area. So
Maggie grew up in Michigan.
Yeah, but not too far away.
Too far.
Yeah.
And I've known Maggie since Foundations.
That's right.
She's one of my, I call Foundations girls.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it's been very good to see them, and they're thriving here and just doing so well.
And the congregation
loves them, and you can see that. And the congregation is growing and busy.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to see such a just busy congregation. They were raking leaves Saturday. They had a fall little party at Drew and Maggie's Friday, and Drew bought a tractor just for the occasion.
Just for the occasion.
Maybe I'll post a picture of that.
And if you know Drew, you know what we're talking about. So
he found a old tractor and was able to fix it.
He got it running just for the occasion. Yeah. So,
but we've had a great time and able to encourage these folks, and they've got some growing that they're doing, and
they're working toward the installation of elders, and so that's exciting for the congregation, and we were here to kind of encourage them in that direction, and so glad they were
coming back.
Glad they were willing to have us up, and so now that we've kind of gotten to know them a little bit, we'll be coming back up and helping them some more, and just a great congregation. So certainly, if you're in Indiana, farm country, this is you'll want to come by Columbia City and visit the congregation at Lincolnway.
Yeah, and, that if you are one who tries to go to the national parks.
Oh yeah.
There's a national park. Only we're in Huntington, and so what was it like
from here it was 2 hours.
2 hours
from actual where Columbia City is, it's probably an hour and a half up to Indiana Dunes.
Indiana Dunes National Park, cool. And you can mark right it off Lake your Michigan. List. It's really neat. Lake Michigan looks like an ocean. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. I love seeing things that I've never seen. So that was a neat thing to mark off our list. We have a journal that we get a stamp.
That's right.
And I can write down all the things that was going on whenever we were there. So that was really neat, and it's a good hike if you like to do that kind of thing. I enjoyed that.
So a couple other things I want to remind you about. Certainly our newsletter. Yeah. We sent out our first newsletter 1st of September, and so that was kind of exciting for us, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback on that. A lot of people even since then have signed up and have asked for copies of it, and we've left copies at congregations where we've been to, and so certainly thankful for that. But also, if you're interested in keeping up with us in that way, to get a especially the digital copy, you can shoot us an email, get on our socials, and send us a link, or send us a message, and
with your email.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that you're on that list. And
the next one goes out in December.
Yep.
The first week of December. I'm working on it, and should have it done this, in November, so that we can send it out. We'll get it printed. For those who want a paper copy, we just need that information, the address, and if you don't want a paper copy, then we can send you an email.
Absolutely.
But we have to have your email address.
And we want to just make you also aware, too, we do need your help. Certainly, we are looking for congregations to go out and help. And so we know that there are those congregations that are maybe struggling in some way, have some particular need. And if that's something that, you may think, okay, well, I think Wayne and Cindy would be great to help in some way, then please reach out to them, reach out to us, and get us in touch with one another. And we'll certainly set it up and try to get things on the schedule. But also, we need your prayers, and we need your financial help as well, too, as we're raising funds to do this work. And so if that's something that you're able to do, or know a congregation that might be able to do, please get in touch with us, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about the work. We are overseen by the Memphis School of Preaching and the Forest Hill congregation there that oversees that work. And so grateful to them for watching for our souls, as well as sending us out to do this particular work. And so we're excited to be partnered with the Memphis School of Preaching. And as we go about, we're getting to talk about the school. We're getting to talk about and introduce some people to the Memphis School of Preaching as well. Yeah. And we've got some folks that are interested. And so that's exciting for the school too. And so we're kind of, there's a lot of things that are happening that we get to be a part of. And so it's been fun.
And I mean, we are trying to be a pipeline for the school, but also we have found in our travels that we get to be a pipeline for congregations to work together
Yeah.
and to help one another.
Connect one another.
And I mean, just the other day I was talking to a lady about needing pews,
Mm-hmm.
new pews, and they can't afford them. And so I'm on the search.
Yeah.
And it may be that they could do chairs, but it still takes money.
Yep.
And so they're
So if you know
somebody with some pews,
with pews, or that might want to help buy
somewhere in
chairs
East
or something.
Tennessee would be best, because
Yeah.
that's where the congregation is.
Yeah.
But get us in touch with them, and we'd like to, because I know a lot of people are changing out their pews for
To
chairs.
go to chairs, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a good thing.
well, and it probably gives them
for
an
smaller
opportunity.
congregations especially.
Well, and it gives them an opportunity to kind of shift people around a little bit, make
Mhm.
things a little bit closer and stuff
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah,
Or
we
if they're
can-
a growing
We
congregation,
can
it makes
sit together. We can sit together and love on one another.
like we like each other, right? So don't forget about the interview series, and make sure that you check that out on the 416 podcast, and of course on our YouTube channel as well. And please keep praying for the 416 Ministries and the work that we're doing. And again, if follow us on all the socials, you can find
please
us.
follow us and like and share.
Yeah.
If you listen on podcast, if you just listen to us, download it for us. And even if you delete it later, if you download it, it helps us to get those algorithms.
Yep.
You know,
and it certainly helps the Scattered Abroad Network as well.
Yeah.
And so we're thankful for the Scattered Abroad Network allowing us to post our podcast there as well. And so I'm trying to think. We'll have all those links and a link of the playlist for the interview series. I think we'll put that in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
And so that'll be helpful, and hopefully you can find it there.
You know how to do those things.
I'll do those things. But anyway.
That's a Wayne job.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't mention when we were in Tennessee, or actually when we were in Georgia with the Cleveland congregation, we drank some really good coffee there. And
Yeah,
I know
that's
things
good.
always come back around to coffee, but
We drink a lot of coffee.
yeah, we do. And the farm is called Thousand Hills Farm, and they started roasting their coffee, and we got to hear their whole story about how they started roasting coffee. But Wesley does a really good job, and that coffee is delicious. And they're members of the church, and we would we'll put the link down for y'all to order some. They will ship it. Or if you're in Cleveland, Chattanooga area, you could look them up.
Yeah. And
They do a
that's,
little farmer's market.
Yeah, Wesley and Denise Skelton.
Yeah.
And so you can check them out as well and get you some coffee, maybe get some eggs or some beef.
Oh yeah, they have a whole
farm,
it all.
so they have it all. So anyway, well, thank you for joining us tonight, and for sitting down with us for the coffee chat, and we'll see you further down the road.